We have around 40 participants already joined the session. So we'll start the session, sir. Vinay, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Fine.
A very good afternoon to all present. Welcome to the last session of the day. We have with us Dr. Vinay M., Associate Professor, Department of CSE, Christ University, Bangalore. Welcome to the session, sir. Sir will be talking about how to handle sessions effectively in online platforms. So the session is all yours.
Fine, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Topic says how do we engage the people, or how do we actively make people to participate in the online classrooms. Before we start the topic, so as it was said yesterday, course plan was last asked by many people that, sir, can you just show a sample course plan or a sample demo where it could be give you a glimpse of exactly what I'm talking about. Everything should be included, because see, in the last 5 days, maybe 6 days, or you would have sat in the online platforms like each 3 slots a day, and you're continuously sitting and then listening with multiple people who are talking about in a different way. One would have come and spoke only on course plan, one would have come and spoke only on the outcome, another person would have spoken only on the platforms, another maybe like me only on digital technology I'm talking about. Everyone would have spoken on different platforms in which are different aspects from their point of view. But when you prepare a course plan, all this, exactly, remember all the topics which you have been listening from Monday morning to till Saturday afternoon has to be combined, and we have to prepare it. Not easy job, I know. At the beginning, the amount of time we spend on a course plan definitely gives a next 6 months relief for us. The day just before a day of the class, if I want to plan for a class, it may not work. You might have realized this in your experience in a teaching at all, but those who are starting, those who have not done, those who have never touched a course plan or have never done it, for them it is more useful on this case. I'm just showing you a sample. I'm just sharing my entire screen, and I think this will be able to understand. Just give me a second. Always when I share it, something happens in the screen. Just hold on. I use at least 5 to 6 different platforms. Each one gives me in different way. Okay. Hopefully the screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Screen is visible.
Okay. It takes some time to come. Okay, fine. This is, just hold on, because sometimes the flickering happens. You may not be able to see the screen. Okay, once it comes, it will be back.
Now it has come.
This is, okay, fine. This is a sample course plan template. I don't call it as a template because already data has been fed inside this. I'm not asking you to follow exactly the same thing. This is what we follow, and this is how we make every faculty. Remember, 3,500 subject semesters we teach in our campus across courses, UG, PG, everything. Around 3,500 subjects in one semester will be handled. All 3,500 subjects will be prepared with this type of course plan. That means this will be a copy which will be handed over to the students. They will know in advance the next 60 hours, next 45 hours, next 40 hours of my class, how it will be done, planned. It is already planned, how well it will go in execution. And this week, what I'm going to learn, they will come to know in advance. That's what exactly we call it as. In advance planning is a course plan. The complete course is planned. This course is named with this financial management. I've just taken one of my other department colleagues as a commerce department's sample, which is an MCOM. Semester 2 class is MCOM. This is the course code, subject code, and financial management. Remember, there are 2 sections in this course plan which we generally do. Part 1 or section 1 is generally the basic details, are including your CO, PO. Every mappings will be done on this part. The second part is how we deliver it. So these details, where do we get these details? Sir, it's okay. If I get a template, I will fill, sir. It's very nice. But how do you get it? These data are not from some other world. It is on your own syllabus or a curriculum, what you have prepared. Syllabus is just the subject details. Curriculum includes all together. So number of credit, number of hours, number of requirements, lab, class, all the details is together bundle. Assignment, assessment is your curriculum. So if you should have a copy of your curriculum or a syllabus. If you have that, then it will be easy to plan like this. That is where we get all these column data plus these column data comes from the curriculum part. Now, in the section 1 only, another part is class policies and guidelines. Generally, people don't prefer to put across in a wordings like this in a course plan, but we prefer, but every teacher must do this at all. How are you going to take attendance? Where is your class notes available to the students? How can they communicate back to you? Where are you available to communicate with them? Are you in phone? Are you in email? Are you in WhatsApp? Are you in the LMS platform? How do they communicate? It should be very clear to them at all. What should they carry for your class? There are certain classes like a graphic designing class. They must carry a pencil, a scale, color, sharpen. All those things are mandatory for them. But for some classes, there is some workbook is mandatory to carry. Please mention that these are all requirement for my class. If you don't come with this, see, your evaluation makes a lot good difference when we use like this. Sometimes later in the month later, you have to evaluate them, say, how was this performance of this student number 3, roll number 3 in my class? How would you evaluate it? Just by looking at their face, we can't give marks. Has he brought all the time in his classes his own materials? Has he performing well? All that comes into picture only when you match it with this guidelines. So this is a basic guideline for them. When is the CIS? When is the internals? Whether the absentees is okay? How much ethics has to be followed in that? How it will be allowed? All the basic things can be written on this. There are several ways. Some people include that how do I contact us. I generally write that how do they contact me in this after the class. Separate sessions, whether I'm available in my cabin or I'm available in my office or I'm available in the cafeteria. Where can they meet me? They can come in these places, in these timings they can come. So you can mention that. See, those are all basic details. Course description comes from the curriculum. Course objectives comes from, remember, course is nothing but a subject. This is a course, this is a subject. Course is not BA, BCA, BCom, BSc, MBA is not a course, that's a program. So as per UGC guidelines and NAAC guidelines, you should name it properly. Program is your MBA is a program, MCA is a program, MSc is a program, MCom is a program. Subject, financial management, branding, advertising, and financial accounting, all those are your courses. So this course objective is anybody who studies this subject, at the end, what they will be gaining from this. What is the objective? Why are we teaching them this is the main intention. That will be written. This also comes from the curriculum. You are not supposed to prepare anything here. Please remember what is already done. Syllabus curriculum approved by your BOS, Board of Studies meeting. The department gives you, take that and mention it here. That's all you are supposed to do. Remember not to create. Take it from there and put it here. Sir, how much should be the objective? Is it 1, 2, or is it 4? Is it there a limit for this at all? In an average level, generally we call it as 6 to 7 is okay. See, here a little more is there. Say maybe 3 plus 4, 8, 9 maybe. See, there is no number specified, but that's enough. 6 lines or 6 objective is enough for a course to tell that what they are going to learn at the end of course. That is, the intention of teaching this subject to the student should be mentioned. That's what should be criteria. Next, second part of that is learning outcome of this course. We are telling this is the objective. These are all the points. For example, to help the student to understand the concept. We are helping them to understand these concepts. That is the objective of the course. Whatever the subjects like financial accounting, management comes, all that will be taught to them. They will be able to learn the concepts. Now, in this case, at the second part, what we tell them is at the end of the what students will be able to do it after learning this course. I'm teaching them the concept. Will he be understanding the concept? Will he be applying those concepts is what we are supposed to tell here. So you could see some samples I'm displaying. He will develop a MS Excel skill for basic financial calculation. That's the outcome. I'm going to teach him the theory. I'm going to teach him the applications. At the end of this, he will be able to do by himself an application of MS Excel software for financial calculations. That's an outcome. So when you mention like this, the appreciation from the higher authorities, your students, as well as the department and NAAC or UGC, you name it, it will be 100% fine. The words you use, your requirements of level, taxonomy, whatever you wanted to apply it or the develop, apply, analyze. Look at the words. See, there is an application, there is a development of the skill, there is an analysis is going on, there is an evaluation going on with it, there is a design aspect, there is a device and ideal tool as a building is also there. So these things are an outcome of that. Automatically your outcome is matched. You are not writing here exaggeration and then writing is not done here. It is exactly what is to be done, what the students will gain. With your experience, you will write. At the end, you ask yourself a question. It is not just for filling a form and then submitting it, whether it is end of a semester, ask yourself whether these are the data which will be given to them, yes or no. Compare with your students. Take one student and then try to whether he is able to design an appropriate capital structure, yes or no. Have I covered the topics or not? From my side a tick, from student side also tick. That means outcome has been achieved. So you will do the all other process for doing that. But basic level is this, to know that whether I taught and the student taught. Feedback also comes on the whether the long-term investment, he will be able to understand. From my side, I have done. Whether from student side, tick only is required. Done. That is where we should do it. That's a part one. Remember the basic details like a subject, all from the curriculum, class policy, course description, objective, and outcome. That is where learning outcomes has to be. That is your section 1 of a course plan. Now, section 2 is how are you going to deliver this? There are 7 units, 6 units, 5 units are there in which each one will be there. Day wise can be done. I'll show another example where day wise is there. This is a week wise. This is where the first chapter, first unit says nature and scope of a financial management has to be taught. These are the subtopics which has to be taught, to be covered. It requires some maybe an 8 hours or 12 hours for this required. But in first week, we will have 4 hours of teaching part. In this, there are only numbers, that is your date, which will be mentioned. What is the mechanism or a pedagogy which you are going to use to teach this? These topics we can be taught with the PPT, basic presentation, lecturing, that is where you explain, question answer, where student will answer back, and some simple discussions will be done. While doing this, what is the references he has to do it? This is the reference. That means student must go through this book. You can also even in detail specify a chapter number, unit number. In this book, there are big book. Which one they are supposed to go it? They have to be referring these subjects, textbooks, and then they should come back. This gives a very well in advance the students what he is supposed to do. I have not added 2 columns here extra from them. I said the basic one which I have taken, it's an earlier one. That's why I'm showing you. Started from this. Another chapter which requires a 3 hours, the continuation of this nature and scope. More topics are in this. And here is interactive lecture and chat and talk. Both I'm supposed to write and do it. Similarly, the next one is chapter 2, which is with PPT, MS Excel, and problem solving is a mechanism. This is unit 2, date is given, this is done, and this is textbooks, some more. Keep on referring like this. This is for all chapters. Same thing. Continue. And here is where, one second, wait. Here is third section. That is where part 2. Part 1, basic details, outcome, objectives, course, description, policies, done. Second chapter, methodology, pedagogy, and the mechanisms which you do. Third part, how are you going to assess them? See, I have joined a course, but I have a program and I have not even started my first class. But I will have these details. How I'm going to evaluate the students is already defined. And the student will know that, oh, this is the way this chapter, this person is going to teach me how well I should prepare. Automatically, the mindset of students will change when we give all these details. Just for the sake of giving, don't give. That's most of the faculties, we do that at the early stages, but don't do that. We did, and then we understood that that's not going to work out, then we have to give it more. You start giving it for, say, for example, if you want to try it out very well, start from the first years. Don't worry, final years, because they already passed out almost. Second years, we don't know to experiment immediately. First years are a good way to start with them with more detail. Give them this one sheet of paper for your one subject and see the reaction after day by day as and when it goes. Follow it. And when you do this, you should follow exactly. This is CIA 1, that is continuous internal assessment 1. A component 1 will have 2 parts. See, in that also there is one quiz, there is an MX Excel test, and 1 hour duration, and unit 1, 2 will cover. Weightage is 10%. See, 100% you are supposed to score in my class, right? So to get 100%, where and all the marks will be given to you. 10% is in your basic first test, or in one test and one work will also be done. Then mid-semester test also you will write, which is for 25% weightage. You may conduct it for 100 marks, 200 marks, how much ever you want, 10 marks, doesn't matter. But out of that, 25% will be considered for evaluation. Final marks will take it for the weightage. So CIA 3, which is continuous internal assessment 3, where part A part will be there. There is some report and group discussion, 10 marks. So internal is 10 plus 10, 20 marks. Mid semester is 25. End semester examination, if you are conducting it, it is for 50. There are courses which may not have an end semester, mid semester. It's okay. It's all flexible to modify. This is just a sample one I'm showing you. Then attendance also counts for 5%. So 10, 25 plus 10, 45 plus 50, 95 plus 5, it is 100. So 100% marks you want to secure in my subjects, you follow this. That's how I'm telling it to my students. So when student knows this, where to concentrate, where to do. For example, if he misses some test, there are students who are different cases are there. One student misses a part 1, part 2. If he misses this, he misses only 5% of the overall weightage. So 95% he's attempting to. He's bunking too many, he's missing percentage here. He has not attended a part B of this one, he's missing 5% over here. So he'll know that how much he has attempted for, 80% only is attempted for. Out of that, whatever he scores, 70, 60 is the final marks. So 100% means you should attempt all for this, and that is where, and it is very clearly clean, neat, written and given to the students in advance. So he will know this is how it works. Now, mapping also happens. Which part of your CIA is mapping with which objective of your learning outcome is what matching over here. This is where I think I'll put it on next sheet and I'll show you. Yeah. Could see CAA, how many components? I have 5 components: CAA1, CAA2, CAA3, mid-semester and end semester. So 5 components, which this is explaining the various concepts of relating to financial management and decisions is explained, covered in which component. Whether I'm covering it for component number 1 will ask is that all components I want this because this is a base part of mine. Then MS Excel is asked in which component. See, you could see here, MS Excel is asked only once. It is here, that is test number 2. So in the component 2, this is matching. See, S is only in the CIA 1, B part is Excel asked. So where is this comes from? This is your learning outcome, which you have written in the top. Whether it is matching happening or not, you're supposed to do it. That's all in each one. Once you map with this level at the basic, your last is assessment description. You have to do it. Explain CAA1, what and all will be there. CAA2, what and all will be there. CAA3, what and all will be there. How is your end semester? Whether a test will be conducted, whether it is will be okay or not, how it is much more in details. If you go, there is more to work on this. This is one part which would have the complete details of your course. This is, we call it as a course pack for student. And you see, it's already written CAA3, what they are supposed to do, how they should submit the report, what is the font, what is the style, what is the formatting techniques, references, all details is given to them. And marks allocation also is called as, what do you specify? Evaluation rubric. This will come technically, it will come as a rubric. I'll show you a rubric sample later, but those who have understood already, for them it is easy. Otherwise, don't worry. In the next sessions, I'll try to do that rubric as well. Evaluation part comes, online evaluation. I will put that across and I'll show you. This is more details and some more are there at the end. This is, you could see that, see, learning outcomes, the method of assessment and the component of evaluation is matching or not. We will be able to write and execute. This much full detail is called one course pack. One course pack will have all this is in one single Word document. We'll give it as a PDF to students and he can read it. And that too in our LMS. Every time the copy is always on top. So anytime he'll be able to refer it and he can come back with details. One sample. Another one I'm trying to show you is this, which is in detail whenever, and this we slightly modified this one because of current pandemic situation, and then most of the things goes online. We had this already, we just added one to mention in details this column where more of synchronous and asynchronous you have to mention it, otherwise it is fine. This is also same detail should occur, but only the single section 2 part of the course plan I'm showing you. Unit 1, session 1. This is number of session 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 continuous. This is unit, which unit? Let's say chapter 1, chapter 2, like that. This will be, here is the what topics you are going to cover in this is the mentioned in the third column. Number of minutes or hours which you require for covering a specific topics, mention it here. See, you could see there are 60, 10, 60, 10, 60, 10, 60, 10, 60, 60, 20, 30. Difference are there. I don't have to cover all 60 only. 60 is my class. That means 1 hour of class, 40 minutes of class, 45 minutes of class, whichever you have, please mention accordingly. This is the sample. Third or fourth one is where you mention it as synchronous or asynchronous classes. What is a method you are going to allow for this? See, not necessarily always chalkboard. See, I'm using here, this was my own course plan, which I used in last semester. Discussion, I've removed the only date on this, remaining is okay. Only 2 chapters I'm showing the sample. Discussion will happen in the class at the beginning, then show reel, a demo reel I will show them, then market trend and a graph and the reports will be showed to them, and then the discussion will happen, and that's how it. For this, they should refer to this book, which is mentioned here, but there is no assignment for this. Over. My chapter 1 class will be over like this. Now, after my 1 class gets over, I should do for a second one. In the second one, I'm not doing it, see, session 2, but it is not a regular one. It is related to chapter 1, where they should learn history of certain things. 10 minutes, I'm expecting them. 10 minutes, what they'll do? So how the class will happen in 10 minutes? See, it is not synchronous. It is not live class. That's why yesterday I said, those, if you remember, it will be easy for us to match here. Asynchronous class now. What is asynchronous class? Where I don't need to be present live with them and they can do it by themselves, where I'm just giving them one small video, which will be a history about the, this is a software, this is a subject called as mobile application development. They should watch history of how the mobile app started in the 1999 or maybe in 2000 time, how these mobile apps started working on. It was early days, so they should listen to it. Instead of me telling the full history in a theoretical aspects, it's better to tell it in a different way. So I'll give them a video. So they will be able to do these resources. And They just not to see the video. Remember, there is a reading material along with that, and there is a website link also. Video is 10 minutes. Additional links is extra. This is extra time they can spend. It's up to them to spend or not to spend. Those are interested, let them do it. And I request everyone to do. But how do I check that? There is one small assignment work complete. There's a quiz. Maybe 4 questions. They have to submit. According to me, the video is 6 minutes video or 7 minutes video. 2 minutes for additional readings. If they're interested, they can go more. Otherwise, 2 minutes for this quiz to complete. 8 minutes video, then complete quiz for 2 minutes. So 10 minutes is expected if they do it properly. Then next class will be 60 minutes synchronous and demo, hands-on, step-by-step guide in the class, and reference material is this. And first assignment starts. They have to compare the trends of 2018, 19, and 20, and they should submit. And for every class they listen to me, they have to do some work. It may be 5 minutes work, 10 minutes work, 15 minutes work, but they have to do for every session they listen to me. It's not like a some conference happening and you just go sit there, listen only those. It's not a movie. They have to listen and go home is not what we are doing it. We are making them to enable with knowledge. So every subject, if you follow, first time it is difficult. I know that so many things to write it, but spend 2 days. Fine. Next 6 months of teaching this subject will become more easy. See, I've done the same thing. And I'm also included that, see, there is one different things in asynchronous, what the kind of a work they're supposed to have written. It's only reading material. But they have to categorize this. I will give them an activity in such a way that I'll give different apps. Maybe 100 app list I will give it. In each apps, they should take it and they have to segregate it according to the categories. Is it comes in entertainment? Is it in the office tools? Is it in the productive? Is it in the gaming? Is it in the other category? They should do it. Related to your subjects, you will be able to do that like this. That's why I'm showing a sample. Like this in your related subjects, it can be done more. And here in this asynchronous activity, I'm giving them a reviewing at least 5 apps. I will give the 5 apps, or sometimes I will allow them to choose any of the apps which is there in their phone, select those 5 apps and do a review of that. You should give me 5-star rating. Out of 5, how much star you will give it to this app? Say, for example, Book My Show. How much you will give? Zomato, how much star rating you'll get? If you don't give 5 out of 5, if you are giving 4, where is that 1 star missing? You should write descriptive. I'll provide all that. Facility is there in an online, even in Google Classroom or a Moodle, wherever we want, you can give. I've already given an Excel sheet like this, or a product in a Google form or some other method where they have to enter all this. That becomes, say, at the end of a class, if 60 students are there, imagine every student is writing a 5 apps review. I will have 300 apps review in 1 day. It's not easy. Some people may do, may not do it, but the students, majority, they will enjoy doing these kind of works. So when you give an activity to them, plan it in advance. Think you have a time to do right now before you start a class. Say, I can sit and do more things to add here is possible. Similarly, I've added one T1. T1 is nothing but test 1, which includes 3 topics and concepts. A3, A1, 2, 3 is assignment. T1, 2, 3 is a test. So as many you want to conduct, you can do it. Not necessary. Everything should be half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours online. Give them freedom. They should feel that, wow, only 5 minutes. Okay, I'll read. That comfortness when it comes to them, they will do it more. I enjoyed it. More than me, my students enjoyed it when I did like this work. I'm just showing you 2 units chapter examples here. More detailed one is there with the other one, which is entered already in an online. We entered it. That's why this was my copy. That's why I'm showing you like this. This is where a course plan plays a very important role in beginning. If imagine that if I am able to see, it's like you are ready to watch a movie, but somebody is showing a trailer. And without seeing a trailer, the number of people who watches the movie is less compared to the number of people who watches the movie after the trailer. What does the trailer do? It just creates an interest in who is the hero, who is the heroine, what is the kind of a story. You will try to guess that, but you can't get the entire things. Maybe in reverse order, they will try to show. And villain looks like a hero, hero looks like a villain, something. They create a curiosity in such a way that people will attract towards that and go and watch it. That's exactly we are doing it because it's an online. It's not like our old days of teaching is over now. So we have to learn certain new techniques. That's what we are doing it. In systematic way, we are not, even though I'm comparing it with a movie, but we are not doing a movie here. But we do a systematic approach for handling our classes in an easy and best possible way to engage them in our classes possible. So if the student comes to know that, he knows that 4th class, there is something like a complete short quiz is there. You see that if I select this 4th one, see session 4, 1 unit, introduction to Android, where asynchronous 10 minutes, which has got something like a short. If he misses, he's going to miss that. That's the rule which I follow. You can also try it for some time. Anybody missing anything, there is no repetition. Irrespective of whatever may be the reasons, you miss it means miss only. So you have to cover up all 100% with remaining one. It's like train is moving. You get a ticket, you get inside. If you miss, train miss. That's all. You have to buy another ticket and come with another. But we are doing here is that component, small component only you missed, but you will be able to come back to that one later. That is how when we prepare, that's why I said first year. If you prepare them in the first semester, first trimester, or first level, they will be bound or molded towards your own way of doing it. If you follow it in your campus, sir, my institute, there are a lot of questions, challenges again. My institute does not support, sir. My department does not approve this. My colleagues may not accept this. Forget all those. First, we should accept. We should do that part. And you make the beginning in your part and your whole department. This is also same thing happened. Controlling our thousands of faculties to do this for 3,500 subject is not easy. We made that effort in last 5 years. Training, it takes time. Training them and making them understand. And we have a separate team. TLC is there. So Teaching and Learning Enhancement Cell, where we train the faculty members to do this part only. Apart from technical, we do all this so that they will get more out of all this is what we look at. That is where we try to give it. That's where the samples I wanted to show you that as a should. It requires some time to understand, but it is required, which is necessary for us to do it. Where is my PowerPoint to come? Okay, now is where this comes. Screen should be visible. Okay, fine. Hope this is also visible now. Now is the next part where it comes. Someone is telling me something. Something comes here. I'm not getting. Where is the chart window? Hold on for a second. Okay. Somebody is asking for sharing a sheet like this. Yes, of course. What is there in that? We will give you a sample. Both the PDF files, I'll share it with the sir. I think he can share it back to you, all of you.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
No problem. That's okay. That's a good thing. As a teacher, that's our first basic part. Whatever we know, whatever we have learned it, please share it to the more people. And more people learn and more they involve are creating in their campus. In not only in my campus, in your campus, you do it from your camp, from you, your campus becomes, and from your campus, more people will learn. And ultimately, everyone will be in a standard so that we grow together. That's what required. Definitely, I'll share it. Don't worry. And this is where you need to handle the sessions more effective in online platforms. Now the challenge starts now. How do we handle it? Sir, how do we make them? No, one is that course plan itself will have to create a curiosity, like what is going to show here at all, the video which I show, or the activities I conduct, the way in which we try to do more with the people is exactly it works on. So that is where we would like to do it on this part. Now, when you start with your, where the steps should be, and I'm just moving my screen. Yes, I think, yeah. Okay. I think my screen is moving. Are you able to see now?
Yes, sir. Your screen is visible.
Whenever we start with that, you could observe now. See, one more when I'm doing today's presentation, on the bottom left side of my screen, PowerPoint slide, I'll start putting numbers. Not now, after maybe sometimes the number starts coming. Those are all the things, maybe 10 things I would like to discuss it. If time permits, maybe 11, 12 also I'll try to do it. And then you can carry one by one at all. So where is the beginning starts with, like, how do you know that which tool to start, sir? Yesterday we discussed all theories, sir. We should start with now hands-on. Of course, correct, we will do that. But to start with that, you should know your students, right? That's why I call this as know your students' wavelength. Who are the people who are sitting in my class? Now also it is important for this session, but because of this online, many people are not comfortable. Many of them are now also, there are many who are in a mobile phone, they are attempting this. They may not be able to suitable, but still I'll do that activity after some time. After explaining this, I'll get this. In our every classroom, we have people with separate categories. Whether it is online class, whether it is offline class, whether it is giving to teaching somebody or preaching someone, the set of audience is always with different categories. All are not same. Their wavelength never matches. The maximum number of people who sits in the sessions, generally like this online or offline class, they expect, or they are the people who learns with a visual method. Visual method is what are the things you are going to show them makes a good difference. Now also there are few people in this class, I know that they're curious to know what is the next slide is going to come. This guy is doing something different slides at all. Some colorful images come, some graphics is coming, some tools he's talking about. Which is the next one? The curiosity is still there. The more number of people who wants to watch this. Some people are interested to take a print screen. Some people are taking photos. Some people are trying to understand color things. Some people just by looking at it, it goes to their mind. So in our classroom, the students who sits, 65% of them are looking at what the colorful things comes. I'm not talking about only PPT. Remember, every colorful things, including the color of a shirt which I wear, the type of a dress I wear it every day. That day I wore that dress, they remember. You may not know it. For many cases, they know that when are you going to fold it, when are you not going to fold it, when are you going to wear this kind of things, when are you going to wear that kind of things. That's our visual mode. Student observes everything. Maximum people will learn it from your visual mode. Your hand gesture movement, like the way you explain it like this. The tough part is like, see, simply saying, oh, it was tough. No, this was very tough. The way you express it makes a lot difference for them. That is where visual mode comes. There are second people who are called it as auditory peoples. There are more people in our classrooms with visual, as well as the next category is auditory. Auditory is like they listen, they don't look. Now also, there are few people in this session right now who have switched on the system or a mobile and they're doing their work. But their ear is this side. They're listening exactly what I'm trying to convey them, or they're listening to the voice which is coming up. They may not be looking at the screen. There are more people looking at screen. There are less people who are doing this, but still they're listening it. Why they called auditory? They're visually, they may be involved in something else. They may be closing their eyes or they may be looking at something else, but auditory, their ears are open to listen with what exactly the person is giving. In our classroom example, somebody can understand very well the explanation of your theory concept with a graph. They are the visual people. The person who is listening to your story or listening to your explanation, not by looking at your graph, but he's looking at somewhere else. But when you ask him, he'll be able to explain it. He's the auditory person. Best example. In your campus, when it is happening, you could observe, you would have done already. There are few people nowadays with their earphone is always on. They never remove it. Even during their reading, their writing, they're doing eating, still it is there. They are maximum, you can consider them as auditory people. They are like a little multi-talented people. They keep on listening some song and they're reading mathematics. They're reading a geography. They're reading a finance. It's their mindset which works with them. They are the auditory. Because their listening concentration in the other side, it works. Sometimes it may work in reverse. Psychologically, it is one way. That's how it works. But third category of people are also part of my class, or our classes. They call it as kinesthetic peoples. They learn by doing the work. Example, one category understands by graph, picture, visual mode. One category understands the auditory with listening. One category, third category, which understand with kinesthetic. You show them anything, they may not understand. You explain them, may not be. But you ask them to do that work. After doing it, when they practice by themselves, they'll be able to understand more. So the activeness of doing that by personally involving them, experiential learning, they learn. They are the people who call it kinesthetic people. They are very, very active people. Sometimes we tell them they are the naughtiest people in our classrooms. They sit in the last bench. Who does not sit in one place every day, he keeps on changing his places, are the best example of kinesthetic. Sometimes we are unable to manage them, we scold them. Remember, there are only 5% in the class, not the entire class is kinesthetic. Only 5% of the people are kinesthetic. We need to handle them in a best possible way. Then only our classroom will be effective. Now, keep this inside and then imagine your class, or think about your class. Whenever you have gone to your class now, have you ever prepared for your class keeping these categories of people in the mind? May not be. Sir, we have never prepared for this purpose. We prepared for subject. We prepared for our class. We went for our class with certain kind of example, other things, what my subject can give. But who is listening to you? The audience is visual people, auditory people, and kinesthetic people. It is psychologically proven, and it has been, reports have been written. White papers are plenty, and lot of doctors, psychotherapists, many psychologists, many people have done a research. And final conclusion is 3 categories of people are there in our classrooms. But when we have these kind of peoples in our classrooms, 1 second, where if we know that, see, it is not today early morning, I got up early, I prepared for 2 hours, you have to listen to me, is a different categories of people. It is not that way. Because I know knowledge little bit, I'm trying to convey it back to your students. If these categories, see, with one good graph, if I show, one good picture, I kept it, and then explain it to them, it's fine. See, same concept, if I would have told you, without showing you the screen with white color, if I make it, it looks, it doesn't maybe impressive way. If I give examples, then you're listening, then it is good one. And I'll ask you to do something after some time, now that becomes kinesthetic. So that is how we want the people to engage. That is where the first category to hold them. Know your students first. It is not easy by looking at them, you can find out what they are. No. It takes 1 or 2 classes at the beginning stages to know that who is looking at your content, who is listening to you, who is ready to do the work when you give a problem to them. So based on 2-3 times when you do it, within first week of time, according to our scenario of last 1 decade of experiences in this kind of categories to do a research, within 1 week of time, maximum, most of the faculties will be able to identify who are my students and what categories of students are sitting in my class. This group, this people, or he is the one, she is the one, I'll be able to do that. Once you're ready to do with that, I think you should be able to start. How do we start? So whenever you do it, be a good observer, including today's class, how well I do it and how I present it, how I'm actively working on this. It's all supposed to come on this. That is where we expect you to be a good observer. Look, see, observe, and do it. Just by looking is different, observing is different. Look is just have a nice visual mode of that and then leave. But when you do an observer, you observe every point across that. When you read a magazine, when you look at a picture, when you watch a movie, when you look at some WhatsApp forward, still you should be an observer. This can be used in my class or not, should be looked at. Be more creative. I hope your university, institution, or organization definitely gives you permission to do more creative work in your classrooms. You should have a passion to learn something new. Whatever we show it today or what you're learning in FDPs, must do it. Explore and share new ideas. Whatever you're learning it today, please don't keep it with you. I'll be happy only when you share it with your friends and your colleagues and other people. Same, it should go on spreading more so that it will be useful. And you have to do this in your classrooms, whatever we learn today, first experiencing by yourself. Don't ever try to go out on Monday morning, say that, hey, on that FDP, I learned something at all. Okay, now you try it, give a link to them and ask them to download the tool. No. They will learn it. You will not become a perfect in that, right? So for you to become more perfect, for you to become a more experiential way of learning it, first you experience it. Remember this always, 10 times I may say this during my presentation, but still I'll point out, first you experience it, learn, feel it comfortable. Okay, fine. This is what this is. Okay, this is how it works. This is how it is not supposed to be. This is how it will be good. Once you experience it, then apply it or give it to someone else. When you give it to your colleague, friend, someone, first you do it. See, when you recommend a good phone to your friend, simply you will not recommend, correct? Oh, this Apple phone is very good. You buy. When you tell that, when you use it, you will feel that. Otherwise, your friend will ask you or your colleague will ask you, oh, have you used it? Do you say that the Samsung phone is good? So have you used it? If you use, then you can only recommend it. It's not like somebody said good, you go and tell somebody good is not good. Because I use it, I know I should do this. So keep this with open mind and so that you can listen to all my tools or techniques which can be done. Now, as I said, something happened. 1 second. Hold on for a second. 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I'll share it again. Because of full screen, I think cursor gives me sometimes. Recently, I updated Zoom to 5.0 something. After that, it's this flickering started coming. Not sure whether it works perfectly. Yeah. You could see now in the slide, hopefully it's visible, and the right bottom left side, there is number written 1. Keep an eye on that always. As and when we go progress, the number keeps changing. As and when it changes, you should feel that, okay, this is something new. Till that number is same, that means I'm talking about one topic. When that number changes, I'm going to the second topic and I'm talking a different one. So you can have the continuation, you can have a look at that. So if you miss that, you'll miss that what I'm talking about. Now, start with this in a class where everyone starts saying from the beginning that you bring your classes to the technologies and you tell your students that, okay, come online and we'll learn online. Have you ever thought that, have you prepared your students for an online sessions at any point of time? Most of the time we never did that. That's where it was very difficult for us to bring our students into an online categories. Second part you look at, have we prepared for an online? Don't know. We just jumped. We don't know. It was a lake or a sea or a ocean. We don't know. We just jumped. And later we pulled all our students. Come, come, come. We are already here. You come at all. And their parents didn't know anything at all what's happening. Even now also there are many parents who doesn't know that what is happening with their student. Some online happens, somebody sits with more phone, somebody sits with laptop, and somebody talks and goes on. That's all. That's how the whole things was. But we never looked around that how it has to be prepared and how we have to do it. So we call it as a first level when you start doing this, engaging class or doing with this, preferably with first year, even second year and final year students also is always good to do it. Whether it is a UG, PG, it doesn't matter. Everybody should be safe in an online digital world. First concept. Lot of fraud, lot of things, lot of unnecessary things are there in an online, good, bad, everything. But safety is more important. Be safe is the mantra for both student, teachers, and parents as well. And they must be a confident explorers of an online world. Because we are giving an assignment online, they should not go and searching something else and end up searching something resultant, and they lead to some other place and we don't know what happens. So that should not lead over there. That's why we should make it. See, that's where well-organized way of giving them the data is more important than just giving them a Google and go and searches. No. That gives the links. Inside that link, what is there? Who knows? So that's where the parents are worried more, and teachers not worried, but they come to know after some time it will happen. So students are all, sometimes they're skeptical, they may not go. Some people are very, this one read and go, it may not happen. So preparing them first and then starting out digital things is most important. So first step, that's why step number one, helping your students, helping yourself and the parents to be safe and confident explorers in an online world is very, very important. So what is the criteria supposed to be? 5 things you should remember. I know that after I tell this one, it will be, I'm going to discuss a lot of things are there at all. I think maybe I may go little fast sometimes. So I think recording is going on. You'll get a collect of this and you can recall this after some time, because otherwise I'll not be able to cover more things. 5 points are important to keep in mind when you go for a digital. Remember, you should learn this and you should pass it to your parents, your colleagues, your family members, and your students. Everybody should know this first before we do it. It's approved by Digital Safety and Citizenship Curriculum of 2019 and 2020 of UK and US, and it is for the whole world. First part, you should know that how to share and care. What to be shared, what to be cared is more important, right? See, in an online world, everything comes into picture right now. And students may be submitting an assignment. By mistake, instead of an assignment file, if they submit some other file, it will come and sit in your document online and visible to more. And that becomes unnecessary problems at all. So even in the WhatsApp forward, whether it is an email, whether it is in social media, everywhere you are sharing more things now. Please be careful when you're sharing with caring. When you give an assignment, when you give a topic, when you give a question, when you give some details, should be more careful. That is what it is pointing, called as point number 1, share with care. Students should be more careful when they submit. There was a profile update will be there always. Just like a DP in your WhatsApp, profile updates in the online platforms like LMS or Google platforms or somewhere, it will be there. Something happened again. Hold on. Some crazy things happen sometimes with this. I have to stop and play again and again. Not sure why. That's why I'm sharing my full screen. Hopefully, yeah. That's a first point which comes with this. Really something bad. Hold on, wait. Okay, next part is where do not fall for a fake. The amount of good amount of data, how much ever we see, the double the amount of that data and informations are fake in the internet. Very difficult to manage the students, people, kids, and then our higher education sector like UG, PG is also more difficult to get with it. How well it will be, not to make them fall for a fake data. How to avoid also, I'll try to specify that, but there are more. Send this messages to 100 people, you will get a battery increases with 2%, and say, pass this coupon to someone and you get 500 rupees coupon, digital coupon or Flipkart coupon, Amazon coupon, something and all will come. See, send this God photo to 10 people and you'll become a lucky in 7 days. That's also a fall for a fake only. But still it keep on passing to many people, believing that is itself is digital world, 21st century. Those things and all, we should know that where to do that, where to believe, where not to do that, and that's our responsibility to do. Third point, where it will be securing your secrets, your data, your work, which is like a password or maybe the PIN or some other things, details, whatever you feel it, All those details are not to be given to anywhere else. See, when we are sharing a full screen, all your data will be visible. Who knows what is visible for me or not, may not be. You may be seeing all my data, which is in desktop, which is over there, here, and too many things will happen. So be careful is the most important point for that. See, we are jumping into a digital ocean, and then across the place, we would like to get all these things and start working on this. That's where get ready and then go ahead. It's fine. So, see, it's cool to be a kind enough. Instead of helping people take selfie, that is where the most crazy things happen and worst things in an online digital world. They want more photos for their Instagram rather than helping some over there. There are categories to do that, but helping someone in an online world is most important things which works. Finally, when there is a lot of doubt comes, please open up. Don't worry. These are 5 points only you should remember before we jump into the entire digital ocean. But these 5 points are very important for you, your friends, your family, kids, and students. Remember, everybody must do this. I know it is not easy to teach them like this, or preaching them. They feel like, oh, what this fellow is doing all these things. But I'll do it in a more interactive way. This can be done. It can be taught to them. One, these points should be remembered. Few points I'm putting across for each one. If you are a smart means, thoughtfully consider what you share with who. Important. Understand the consequences that come along with sharing. See, there was a profile update. One of our students who wanted to upload a photo which was supposed to be his passport photo. While uploading, default, he knowingly or unknowingly, he selected another photo which was he was sitting in a hotel and then eating photo. See, which is the crazy things which they do it at all for a fun. Sometimes, one time by mistake they'll do it. That should not happen on this. Professionally, it is different. That's why you could see that there is a professional network for every one of us called as LinkedIn. Nobody posts in the LinkedIn stating that I ate in this restaurant, I went here, the cool place here, photo is this, weather is like this. No, we don't post in that LinkedIn. We post all that in Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. Why are we not doing in LinkedIn? There is a standard we follow it. That is for professional network, not for fun. So it is for seriousness. We will do it like that. Our classroom and class things are for seriousness, not for fun. Fun is we'll have fun over there, but not for when we submit, when we share and do that. It should be keep an extra sensitive information to yourself, not to someone. I'm going to a park, I'm going on a cinema, I'm doing all these things should not be shared across these places. That should be shared somewhere else, which is different way which should work at. So there are certain cases which we should look at. This is where we are supposed to work or think about that, and we should work it. Okay, next is 1 second. I'm really sorry, some crazy things happens in this. Okay, now it is an alert part where it comes on how you should be alert enough. We say that don't fall for a fake. That's where you should be alert enough to do that at all, right? Whenever you get any forward message from somebody, please be very careful that know that from where the source it has come, and then you put a forward to someone else. That's the first part. And there's a lot of phishing things happen. Phishing is nothing but creating exactly the look-alike website and then making you to enter all those things. It's like SBI website, and you feel that it is a State Bank of India website, and then you're trying to do that. It may be very difficult for you to identify, but still you'll enter all your username, passwords over there, and then all data is gone. Very difficult to do that at all. Sending that, enter your please share your PIN number and UPI number, something and all is happening over there. People may not know it. So don't, unless you know it very clearly, assurance are there, don't do that. That's why RBI sends every alternate day sending a message, don't share with this somebody, PIN number should not be shared, that should not be shared. Alert is more required over that. Tell the difference between what is real, what is fake. That is what you should build yourself to do that. Spot the signs of a potential scams. Please, if you understand this is a scam, please tell 100 more people. Instead of forwarding it, tell 100 people this is wrong, don't do that. Click here to download a free ticket. That's the first option. Click here, forward it to 5 people, you'll get the free. See, how can you forward a message and get a battery backup? We don't, till today, I never understood that, being a technical person, but still it happens. That's where alert part. Now, solution is also important for all this. Only telling a problem is not good. So whenever you get that, something, wait. Okay, now this is a number. Please do save this number. It's a very good number for all of us, and which will help us to understand how things works. Where does the maximum forward happens? WhatsApp. And many places also it happens. From the WhatsApp, what comes, they copy paste it to WhatsApp, WhatsApp to Facebook, Facebook to Instagram, Instagram to Twitter, Twitter to somewhere else. But maximum immediate reach is to more people is in there. They have a limit. You can't forward to more than 5 people, not to more than 1 person. So many things are there in that. But still, whenever you receive a message, you should be able to find out whether it is a good, correct, genuineness of that. This number, save it as a checkpoint, And then any message you receive, it just forward it to this, and it will ask you, do you like to check this? You say yes. 1 is for yes, 2 is for no. Just press 1 and reply that. They will check the genuinity of that message from across the world. Say Trump won the election. If I say that right now as a news, it's actually false, but it's a news which has come to me and I start forwarding it, it becomes a different way. So instead of that one, I verify that here, whether it is correct or not, then I can do that. See, there is solutions. I'm not just telling only the problem. For everything, there is a solution. If we know, we'll be able to pass it to 100 more people and you can be safe, secure enough to do it on that. It's easy and do it. Should be strong enough. For mainly on your security purpose, it should be responsibility for protecting important information, crafting a unique, memorable passwords. Don't write it anywhere. Even today, 50% of the people's ATM card, if you collect, they write on the backside of the ATM. It is not correct and it's not good as well. And strong password combining a characters, numbers, and unique numbers which you can remember is always good enough to handle it. That's where you should be strong. Kind enough. Use amplify power of internet to spread good positivity, not the negativity. You could make from your own see, this is where it was. Why are we telling all these things you do? You're jumping into digital world. You're using a lot of tools, techniques now, and that should not maybe stop us in because it is not good, it is not safe. It should not give us any problems for us. It should be good for us. And I have created this kind of things. I use these positive things in my class. I made them that every day you should bring out one definition from my class and you should forward it to my class group. Whether you do it in LMS, whether you do it in a email, whether you do it in my system, whether it is in WhatsApp, doesn't matter for me. But every student, this week I will assign, these 2 students have to do. Every day they will read the newspaper, they will find a news related to my subject and they will forward it to, and the positivity starts from that. Any good things, and everybody has to list down that and keep it ready. Any day, anytime, I may ask anybody, tomorrow you should do it. They will be 1 week assign. See, around 16 weeks we get a semester, 15 to 16 weeks. Each week, if you do it for 2 also, 32 people. You do it for 4. Every week, 4 people has to do it. Almost whole class will do it for the 1 semester. So that's where you have to utilize that. These ideas can be utilized in those parts. Finally, brave enough. This is where we are failing it right now in India. Nobody opens up the mouth. And if there is a problem, if they lose money also, they'll keep quiet. If they gain money also, they'll keep quiet. But if there's a problem, they are supposed to open it up. At least other people, next time, other people, we can help them, whoever is possibilities. And next time, the other person will not have issues when it comes to this kind of things. That's where we look around. This is the most important things which they should look at. Now, imagine these 5 things you have to teach to your students now, or your parents, your kids, your students. And that is afternoon. Who will listen? When there is an interesting, they will listen. But now, because intentionally I did it as a theoretical part for you, but same concept right now. Imagine if I can teach you with a game. If I'm able to give you a game now, either you play it in mobile or you play it in your system, preferably on a system, on a PC or a laptop or any device, play a game which will teach you all these 5 concepts by playing a game, and you win that. So you win, you learn everything, all of this. And while playing, it's not just playing a game, but these steps you have to learn. It will ask you a secret door, and it will ask you a password. Keep a password there. You have to keep a strong password. If you keep a smaller password, it will not open. It will not lock. And somebody can come and steal your product from that room. That's a game. And you will keep a password. That's where the teaching happens. See, these concepts can be taught in a gamification way. That's where the new terminology in the digital world called gamification, that can be taught to them. How? Intention is to keep safe, play safe, stay safe, and even learn safe is also important. There are different lands are created in an internet world. That's called interland. Internet land is an interland where different lands are created, where to be safe, where to be secure, where to be not to fall for a fake, all those things. It's available in a program, full-fledged curriculum, syllabus, program, course plan is all created for this, and it is ready to use. It's like ready to eat food, ready to eat in my class, ready to give it to my students is done. Program name is called Be Internet Awesome. I suggest every teacher who are in the digital world, who are supposed to be feeling that I want to be enter into this one, before you do any other things, first step is to get ready with your concepts, or the steps required for you is Be Internet Awesome. It's a ready-made program which is available on the internet in the Google platforms. They prepared already and they give you everything. You just have to spend on 10 minutes to explore this. Don't go and tell again to your student, hey, there is something called as Be Internet Awesome, go and play. Don't do that. Unless you play it, don't tell them. So when you play it, you feel that, oh, this is the game. Oh, this is the way I learn. Oh, this is the way I'm supposed to do it. Then you tell them. If they ask question, then you know how to answer. Otherwise, oh, because Vinay told somewhere in the meeting FDP, so I'm using you, I'm telling you, you go and do it. They will learn and they will become perfect. And where is your role? So you do that and you have to do that way. And I think this, I'm not sure whether the sound appears or not. We'll have a look at that. It may get stuck to the so heavy. You can watch this video or the online world. It is taking too much bandwidth. It may not be. I have a very good bandwidth, but it may take some time for you to work in those platforms. So remember, there is a scoring pattern. There is a way it will teach us, and it will train us also step by step, jumping, going, collecting, and keeping in secret, then sharing something, and then do it. And ultimately, you will have a certification from the Google. So Google gives you a certificate saying that you are an awesome internet awesome person, and you are very good, and you can go. 4 or 5 certificates will come from this. And they have to pass only 3 or 4 quizzes over there while playing a game, and they'll be able to see what can you do for help prevent an account from an hacked. Basic steps only, but it is teaching me by doing some work. That is where it plays a very good role for us to work with this. Hold on. Okay. Next screen. Hold on 1 second. Okay. That was first part. You are above the foundation. Step number 1. Yesterday was full foundation. The step number 1 to start something with that. Okay, we are ready, sir. Our class is ready to go ahead with that. Step 1 was to get prepared digitally, enhanced skills for jumping into an ocean. And in the oceans now, this is number 2. You can see there. Maybe maximum word. I think the teachers would have heard this word in a more. Those who don't know, it's fine. You give me a chance. It will be okay. For I think 1 second. Something came. 1 second. Something is happening. Okay, the one screen which was missed over there. That's why I just wanted to give really something crazy on my laptop. Okay, fine. See, not only Google, there is another one which is our own favorite, Facebook, and people like Facebook more on that one. For those people, there is something called as Digital Safety and Online Wellness Program by Facebook. Even Facebook runs this for free. And any of your institute can also collaborate with them, and they create a lot of good digital content for people, and it will be useful for them to work around this. And you can register. You just search for this: Facebook for education, Facebook for digital safety and online wellness. You get this. They also create a lot of games and the online platform for digital learning, digital safety with an augmented one. Toolkits are available for teens, generally above 18 years, can learn all these. Teenagers also should learn this, and higher education sectors, including teachers. It will be very useful for us, and that is where you should put across with this. Then is our, just give me, hold on 1 second. Something really crazy is happening in my system. It disturbs my presentation also too much. I just want two more things are open. Full screen should work. I'm not getting. Screen does not move only sometimes. It creates crazy things. Generally, my cursor is getting disappear on that part. That's why I just don't want it to happen. Hold on. Okay. Just keeping full screen. What's happening here? Okay, it's now clear. I think it will work properly now. Okay. This is also part of that. Yes. Next. Okay. Part 2 was our MOOC. We know that, see, there are a lot of people who have spoken to you. You would have heard this word in a maximum number of times, and everyone knows that. My point is that why we are supposed to do with this. At this age, maybe after once we join a job or a career, then it's very difficult to go back and learn and do it. Only faculty development program or QIPs or quality improvement programs or some other programs which will generally happens with us. We will not be able to learn more things with this. That's where we wanted to know it. 93% people who did a MOOC course has got new skills and new ideas. You're all here for this FDP because to learn something new and you want to implement in your classes. How do you get that? I'm telling you to get that one different way, but this session, I'm not talking about the current sessions, what we are doing it, but generally you get a new ideas and new skills when you do an online MOOC course, not any just course, which should be a MOOC course where 93% of people said, I got new idea, new skills. 84% people said that their career got boosted from a lower secondary assistant professor to an associate to professor to a above level reader, writer, or whatever, maybe dean or level. Possible with this knowledge is only important. Most important for me is that even though percentage is less compared to other two, but 72% people said they gained more confident. Early stages, I was very scared to give it for talk to 1 or 2 people. Now you tell me thousands of people. In lockdown itself, I would have done around more than 100 sessions. I attended 200 sessions and I conducted 100 sessions. It was crazy things to do that, but I'm happy to share those things, but confident increase. Now you give me 1,000 people. There was one UK conference, United Board conducted. There was around 6,000 people participants divided to batches wise. It was in early morning sometime, at 2 o'clock sometimes. Still, I was happy to do that because it gave me confidence that I can face more people now. That comes to you when you do these online courses. That's where we are looking out. This should help you in gaining those parts. What is the crazy things happening in the outside now? More and more people, companies are collaborating with the industries, education sectors, and the universities, and they're bringing. Look at one of the course which comes like an online nano degree. Cost even your MBAs only. That's the IMBA, Alliance University with an Coursera is coming out with 1,100 students of $22,000 course. It's a very huge competition for our course, right? If a student can do over there, the day he finishes 2-year course, the day he finishes, the job is ready to his hand, 100% guaranteed in a multinational companies with the basic salary of minimum 12 to 15 lakhs per annum, minimum, least level. It's not average, least level. Then why do the student comes and sit in my class? Why he's paying for this much of lakhs and sitting in my class? See, that's also this is a huge competition in the future for us as well. So that's a crazy things which happens. If you look at the number who did that, this is happening still and it is reality. 13,000 courses, 820 micro-credential courses, 50 MOOC-based degrees are there in 2019, in last 1920 academic year. It is 900 plus universities across the place they did, including our Swayam also, which was a part which we talk about more on this. 1,000 courses are there still. I think now, yesterday they have announced IIT Madras in NPTEL courses are there in the Swayam, around 500. Do it for, sir, I have 100 certificates. See, 200 certificate is fine. Not for a certificate. The process they use inside that, how do they interact with the student? What kind of an assignments they give it? How do they engage us? You will learn that. That is what most required for us as a teacher. See, I know my subject, they also do the same. Subject is not the one. Knowledge gaining is not only in subject. Beyond that is what we look around can be done. That's where this statistics number itself says you that, yes, this is what happened. 45 million people with 420 micro-credentials, 16 degrees when they can get from one place. Then obviously our Swayam is still in 10 millions and they are with 45 million people. So that's where it goes on. What kind of a courses they learn? See, look at the top 2 courses. Yours and technologies, ours is the major matching which is happening. This is a real fact from there itself. Class Central only have taken it, what kind of a courses people have chosen. 20% of the people chooses business, around 20% of the people chooses technologies, 40% done. Remaining 60% is all divided with all other courses which people want it. Science or humanities, social science or education, teaching or something else. But look at that, 19 in business, 19.7, 19.8, 20 is in technology and business. This is what the people are learning. So you should also learn at least one course in 1 year. Any one course without certificate is fine. Sir, they are paid there. During lockdown, Coursera gave us around 3,800 courses for free. I don't know how many of you have done the courses in this. All courses were free. Each one was around, I did one course which was around 75,000 rupees, according to Indian rupees, around $500, 7,000 rupees one course, then 10,000 rupees one course. There are all courses are there. I did not do numbers. I wanted a good quality courses which was there to do it 5 or 10 courses, which was very good for me. You can do that. Now also it is available still. Auditing is full free, 1 month full free on Coursera. You can learn it. See the way they interact, they give you guidelines, the kind of an assignment, the kind of interaction happens with you is the first part you should learn. Then only we can do that in my classroom. Then automatically digital thing comes. There are 190 universities which gives you free, which is in a goo.gl/. Shortcut I have just kept it over here, which can be done. That's where you should also think about, say, can I do it? You would have done it. I'm not telling you nobody has done it. If you do, at least keep that as a track. You can do that as maybe a yearly one course. You will be able to do that 1 year, one course. And within that, whatever I learn it, I adopt it in the next year in my classrooms. Like that, I did it from 2014 till now. Every semester, every time I do it with my students, and I will be able to do that in a effective way in my classroom. This semester, whatever I learn, I'll adopt it in next class. It works. That's your number 2, which has to be adopted on this case. Now you could see the number now start changing it, and the next things which comes at all. Okay, sir, now we are platform foundation was ready, which we, so that some LMS, some tools are required for us. Next, digitally, you become very good with that. Know that your student, knowing your student is important. Then we prepare our digital safety, digital things on our student. Then we also made ourselves that learning something, MOOC course, also building ourselves with that is fine. Now start using your tools which can help you to do these parts. I'm not sure how many of you know that the communication with our students mainly happens, should happen with Gmail or not Gmail, any email. Email part is fine. We use WhatsApp, but we don't prefer that to have a WhatsApp. General communication like, okay, fine, this is info, please check your mail, you can send. Not send the whole details in the WhatsApp is not good. Even though we know that it's an instant, fast, best method to do that at all, but official record for your NAAC, UGC, or for a institutional management requirements auditing purpose, only email should be used to do that at all. If you are having your institute email, please preferable to use that one always. If you don't have, request them to have a Google for Education program and get a free email for every one of you is possible to get, and start using it. That's so but instead of generally Gmail using it, it is very difficult to track the students. Get the program full free, emails free for your campus, and you can start using it. You can send an email to someone on a specific time. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, I want to send my students. I do that in course plan. I will, when I do that in Excel, I'll put the right side also. Reminder mail 1 day before. I plan it, and I will also set it today itself. Maybe in the November end, I want to send a email. I can do it November 30th email. I can do it today. There is the option in the below email called as schedule send. Hope you would have seen that. This is the same symbol which appears on your Gmail compose box. If you click that, it will ask you date and time, and you specify when to send this email and finish. You forget whether you are switching it on your system or not, whether you are sitting in front of a system or not, whether you have internet or not, whether you have power or not. No. It will automatically send from the cloud to those people whom you have mentioned it on the date and time you have specified. It's the most important thing, right? Without me and scheduling, automatically it goes on. Every week, one email should go to my students. I plan like this: 16 email goes to my students, and every Saturday, and after our class gets over by 1 o'clock, we send one email. Generally, I plan and do that one. You can also do that. So every Saturday is already planned. 16 emails already planned. What is to be written? And it covers some of the details. You can plan it, but some of the details which I will let to. What are all the things we have covered, and what are all the things which has to be assignment pending on that, what they are supposed to do work, what is the news coming up, all that is scheduled. So every week they get it. I don't need to do it on weekend. I may be busy with some other work. So see, today is Saturday, I'm busy with some other work. Then they may be getting an email automatically. So it is fine. And you can also send an email to someone with a password protected. What do you call it as an OTP? If I send you an email to you, and you will be getting that one OTP to your number, phone number, you will get an OTP. Only when you enter that OTP, you can read my email, and only you can read. You can't copy, you can't print, you can't do anything with my email, and that email will vanish automatically after you read. Sir, how do we do that? All those things in the same thing option. There is a option called as confidential email. The same email, you have an option in the compose box. It's in the Gmail itself. You get this called confidential emails. You can avoid forwarding it. I'm sending it to you. Say, for example, question paper, I'm sending it to you. How can you forward it to someone? No forward, no copy, no printing, and no downloads. You can't do anything out of those. Only you can read. See, this is where the basic communication start with that. Sir, this is all too difficult, sir. With sending it to student will send it to someone else. You have an option. It's all there from years, which we never use it. So start communicating to your student first with official email. You can create a group. Sir, 60 emails I have to send to 60 students. No, your all 60 students can be in a one group mail ID, and sending it to them in one click with all 16 each time. Communication is easy. So only one email you have to use it. That will reach to all 60 by creating a Google Groups, and group email ID can be created. That's why if you use general Gmail also it works, or if you use your university institute level of Google Suite or G Suite also if you use, it's a very good version. Those institutes which are not there, I strongly recommend, please do go ahead and then register for a Google for Education. I do train for them as well. But if you wish that, I'll be happy to help you to get connect with the Google, and I can connect you to get the whole details from the Google and get free of cost Gmail, Drive, unlimited space, all other tools, technologies, whatever we discuss, everything will comes free of cost to you, your institute, and all people, including students, can enjoy it. So please do that one, and it's a very good option. First part, that's where out of all steps, in the third step, the first part one is your communication with email has to be very clear. Use all the features. Second part is calendar. Calendar is one good way to organize ourselves and planning it everything in easiest way. You can even plan Zoom meetings, you can plan a Google Meet meeting, you can plan a WebEx meeting, you can plan your day, time, task you can mention inside that, you can add include more guest inside this, and you can do that. See, now also you could see that there are WhatsApp forward comes for us to click here to join meeting, click here to register, click here to do that. All that can be avoided by just doing one single work, which is in Google Calendar. I'm not sure whether my browser is window open. Yeah, this is window. Hopefully it is visible. You could see there. If I click on any place or any areas on this part, you could see that there is in a calendar. I'm clicking here. This is my own calendar in which I'm just, everybody gets a calendar on this. You could see that there is a title on which I can do that. Say this is for a discussion, session 1 on FDP, and what kind of a conference you would like to have it. You can just click, see whether it's a Google Meet with WebEx, or I can also do it as make it as a Zoom meeting. See, I don't need to even open any of the other softwares. I can do all that here itself with just one click, and I can also specify all people here. See, I can add their guest. For example, see, it's my own email. See, my own email can be added, and I can add, see, another email. I can add Kobe. See, all those people who are there, I can copy paste all their email address in one click. I can do that. So if I do that one, I just click it on option to save, and it will ask me to send an email to everyone. See, just click send with the details, with the link, with the description, with photo, with the poster, with whatever you would like to add, everything you add it and send. And tracking is easy. What not you want it in this all, that is where you organize. And when you look at your own calendars, I'm just canceling it. So you will be able to look like this. Which day, see, which day is my class, which day is meeting, which day is the training program, which day is my other skills, which day is my research class, which day is my FDP, which day is my board meeting, which, see, today also morning, 7 o'clock, it started with this, and board meeting happened, lab test is, look at any weeks, my schedule is all organized. I will know that when, how best I'm working on this is possible. So we never used it. It was there from 10 years. You won't believe that 15 years this option was there, 10 years extensively available. Last few years, more people used in the outside, but India, we never uses. Because we don't want to be organized. All we are happy to put it on a scribbling on a paper or put it on somewhere else. We do it, but not on this. So this is where organizing yourself is more important to start the journey to use this. Third part out of the third part, before we go to the next one, is Google Drive. It comes with an unlimited space. To do all your work in one single place, many with features always available at all. And it's easy to open it, drive.google.com, you open it, or just go to Gmail and then click on the box like this, this 9 box. If you see it, all tools are here only. You can see Google Search, Gmail, your calendar, your Drive, and apps, including Google Classroom. See, you could see your Google Classroom, all available in the same apps. Many of the apps you might have not used it, it is available. You'll be able to do that with this Google Drive. That makes you base level. See, I'm putting like a stone one by one so that our wall should be strong enough to withhold the entire things. Your basic LMS foundations, and above that is a strongly understanding your students, then your digital safeties, then you should have your MOOC knowledge. Above that is your communication with a Gmail. Above that Gmail, you should have a communication to put all across into an organized way in calendar, then store all your files in one place. You can access the files from, this is unlimited space. See, if you use Gmail, it will give you 15 GB. If you use G Suite program, I think it will come around unlimited space on this. It will be very easy for us to accessing on this. Somebody is on. Okay, fine. Thank you. Please start using it. See, dump everything. It's okay, fine. You can organize it inside this with, make a folder colorful. Colorful folders can be kept inside this. Put all semester 1, semester 2 separately, course wise, program wise, separate folders. Everything can be kept inside this Google. And sharing with someone is easy. Collaboratively working with someone is easy.
Power yoga अपेक्ष नहीं. पतंजलि के
I think your mic is on. Okay. There is the next one. See, once we know all these part at all, some basic apps are the tools we should use for our classrooms. With demos, I'll try to show that. Google Drive is one part. It's a cloud storage where you save everything inside this. Either you have a 15 GB or you'll have unlimited space based on the program what you have taken inside that. And you can store and dump all data inside, semester wise, course wise, assignment wise, anything you want, you can keep it inside this. And all your Google Classroom also by default comes in Google Drive. Sharing it somebody is more easy. Click one button on phone also, it works more easy, simple. And along with that, it also has got some things called as number 4 here now. 3 parts over. 4th part is this, where digital journeys 4-part engaging classes where apps are available. Apps are nothing but cloud apps, like our phone apps, and cloud apps are available in the Google Drive, which are named like these. Sir, we have heard this, but how best you have used? I'll show you a demo of 1 or 2 simple options. You will know that, oh, this is also there inside this. How best you can use it is how it will give you an idea that, oh, this can be used on this. We struggle to type our research papers. We struggle to type our assignments. We struggle to even do a lot of more work. It's too much of work. But using these tools can make our work more easily simple. And all these apps are inbuilt with AI technologies. That means artificial intelligence is already added into all of this. And if you use 2-3 images and you have some other things to prepare your PowerPoint presentations, these Google Slides can be used much easily to build your own presentation effectively. And Google helps me, that Google Slides helps me to do that more better work without knowing. I gave 2 images and 1 paragraph. It suggests me how best you can show this. It's a good option, right? And I can collect more information from Google Form. I can create my own websites. One simple sample I'll try to show you. And see, it's an empty browser window. I'm typing on the address, top address bar. You could see I'm just typing doc.new. I'm not finding anything else at all. I'm just opening one. I don't have any software downloaded. I've not uploaded any softwares. I've not done anything at all. I just open my internet browsers and I'm just typing it as doc.new. My email address is already open. Because of that, it connects and it just opens me a Drive app, which appears. And if it is in a Drive, for example, if it is a Drive looks like this. And I have all my apps available on the 9 box, or if you click on new here, you could see there. It's available with all more. Just hold on for a second. More apps comes from this. You could see that all apps comes here. You will be able to open with this way, but easy for me is that just open one. Doc.new is the easiest way to do it. That's why I just used on this option. And it's exactly similar to your, what do you call it as MS Word, and all options of features are available inside the same. Even there also it's available, it is fine. I'm just showing you another one where you could see that how best fast. I'm just showing you one example. Like this, there are 100 examples inside of this which can do a lot good things for us. I'm just using one option called as voice typing. Here, I'm just clicking on this mic, started typing using an Google Docs, showing a demonstration of how we can use voice typing in Google Docs. Look at the accuracy. I'm just, whatever I say, I never trained the computer. I never said computer should do like this to me at all, without telling any spelling at all. I just spoke whatever I needed, it will keep typing it. Because now mic is on in both, my Zoom also mic is on, my system also mic is on. It may slow down a little bit. Otherwise, only if I use this, start typing in Google Docs is a demonstration to use voice tool option in Google Docs. See, It works. I just need to stop. This is one good example. See, if you want to type, always we feel that, right? See, students can also look at all these tools into a perspective. You give a notes to them in this format, and student can also write back to you in the same format. He don't feel like typing or writing, so lazy fellows to do it, but they're very good in knowledgeable. They can transform their knowledge into typing in more faster. That is where it works. And suppose some of you may be doing in your own languages. Look at here, click here. I did it for English. Now there are 88 languages. You tell me in which language you would like to tell on this. I don't know the other languages. Maybe I can do it in Kannada or I can do it in Hindi. You can do it in Tamil. You can experiment that. I'm just using a Hindi to show you that other languages also it works. I'll try my best to give it. आज हम लोग ऑनलाइन पर Google Docs के बारे में सीख रहे हैं. Look at that. How fast best it works. You can say it in Vanakkam and then whatever, like to say it in Tamil, it will work. Telugu, it works. Malayalam, it works. 88 languages of the world, it supports me. I just not did editing. See, just delete if it is wrong. You just select, delete, say it again, and it works. And don't worry about mistake. Just keep on doing it. Only later we have to do that. See, assignments can be done like this. Our notes can be dictated like this. All that can be done in single tool called as Google Docs. That is where your point should be. See, one tool can help me in 100 things. I'm showing you out of that one feature of one tool. So if you give me time, another maybe few more days, you will be able to have that one and we'll be able to learn more. And like that Excel, we have a Google Sheets. Like PowerPoint, we have a Google Slides. Like a form, we also have a Google Form. Like a website, we have a Google Sites. Like these tools are there. But who will teach you? That's where see, step by step we are growing right now. So we are learning the new tools and then we are trying to grow more. And to learn this always, it is difficult. People feels that, oh, this is technical, sir. You are talking about too many things and it will not go in our mind. That's how the feedback generally comes from our people or faculty members, which says that, oh, sir, difficult for me. So for them, I suggest always that, please don't worry about like this is technical, this is non-technical. These are all part of basic requirements for any faculty in the higher education must know these basic things. Like some of the letters, writing and everything which is required for it all, we need this mandatory. Now, how do we learn this? I can teach you one way. The other way is, you can attend more sessions whenever it comes. I'm happy to do that one by one in details. But generally, with the basic, at least you should know by yourself. There is a ready-made program. Again, for faculties, for students, for everybody, it is fine. Begin yourself first. Remember the last point I said in the early times. Explore yourself, learn yourself, experience yourself, then tell to someone. You do this first and tell to your students and colleagues. Don't tell them without you doing all these things. 8-week programs to learn all these tools one by one, and every week 15 minutes a week. 15 minutes a week. Why 15 minutes a week is 15 minutes they will show you, and remaining other days you have to practice and you have to do it. You can just take your phone, scan this QR code, or take a print screen, or you copy the code, or you type it, or do whatever it is. You can search it, you will get it. And all this, my Wakelet already, all documents are there. You'll be able to get that and you can work on those. And every week you will get all topics. You will become perfect in Drive, at least basic fundamental knowledge of what is Google Drive, what is Docs, Classroom, Form, Slide Sheet, Sites, Drawing. Imagine if we are able to get all this knowledge, and by March 16th of 2020, if we were ready with all these things, how our effective class would have been done in the last 6 months. We were not ready. Our students were never ready. We never prepared them for a Zoom. And then suddenly on March 30th, you said that, oh, next day onwards you come to Zoom. What is Zoom? Only people didn't know. Then how do you make them to come into Zoom was difficult. Come into an WebEx was more difficult. Come into Google Meet. See, we learned, explored, and then partially whatever we learned and we did it. Now, instead of that one, make yourself as professionally. Learning is important. Gaining knowledge is important. Where our 4th point says, cloud apps is necessary for any faculties, irrespective of your background, maths, arts, science, commerce, management, finance. It's okay. Marketing, okay. Learn this. And once you throw this, please tell your students, please go through this program. With the day they come in, ask them to register. Even before they come, it is fine. Welcome letter, you send it to your students. And when you know your students, send a welcome letter, tell them finish this and come to my class. Registration is mandatory. I did that. The registration to this program is mandatory when you come to my first year, first day class. When you do that, by the end of at least mid semester, 8 weeks means mid. By the mid of your semester itself, they are thorough with the tools. So you ask them to submit something, happily they'll be able to do these programs. To get more things out of this, Google has created something called as a hub. That hub has got all details, like you're teaching from home, right? We are still not out of COVID, and lockdown has been removed, partially maybe 90% removed, but still we are teaching from home. To get more tools, what is helpful for us, whatever the tools I specified somehow, it is useful for you to get it. You can use your teachfromhome.google. It will give you a lot good information. Very bundles of information is there, which you can use it. Please note down and search it, type it in a Google, teachfromhome.google, gives you international website, which is a hub of, which is written in English only, supported by UNESCO, supported by United Nations, IST, everybody supports this, and they made it. Every day, see, more and more teachers are asked to move to the teach from home mode, but you are not alone in that. There are people who are supporting this. It will help you. Just give me a yes, no answer in the chat window right now, if it is okay. How many of you know this? What is this Mentimeter? Many places people would have used it. People would have heard about this. Just type yes, no, okay. What is this Mentimeter? Have you heard something called as Mentimeter? Okay, at least I can show a demo of that. Yes, I know. Somebody said yes, I know. Somebody said no. I said know your students, correct? Know your students' wavelength. Yeah, somebody said, see, there are two no's, two yes. Some people have said, but anyway, I'll give a description. How do you engage your class? Preferably, most cases is engage your class with your students by knowing them what they are. If at least one or two of you could help me in this, I'll be able to do this. Google presentation you heard, but not Mentimeter. Okay, Mentimeter is another tool or another software. You could see the number now. Number is 5 now. 5 means it's the next tool, next topic I'm talking about. Mentimeter is a tool which will help you to do the interactive presentations and meetings whenever you are going to start with real inputs from candidates, and you can do that. How can you do that on this part? I'm just going to show you something now in this. It's easy to create, easy to do that. Some of you could help me on doing this. And if you're on a computer system, you just keep listening to me and then open a screen, and then you'll be able to do this part more easily. And this is FDP November 1. Just try to present it in front of you only. Okay, you could see your screen right now. You are requested to open a website called as menti.com, M-E-N-T-I, menti.com. Just open few, at least. If everyone tries, I'm very happy. If at least few of you try to do it, at least I can show a demo to the other people. One or two also can try it. At least few should try this. Open a website called as menti.com, and you should enter the code called as 761898. I've just given in the chat window as well. At least just go there, and it will ask you a question that how are you feeling today? Whatever it comes to your mind, you just type it. Are you happy with the content? Are you okay with the listening to more details? That's fine. In a class, at the beginnings, you ask them in an online version and an offline version, both the way it is fine. There are people who don't want to open up in your class. You'll be able to use this tool, and you can ask them to work with, come bring everything, and then put across in a point. At least few of you could try this. Then I can show you. Are seeing my screen now. You are requested to open that website. I will also try it. Yeah, see, started coming now. People started giving me an answer. See, profound, great, good. Oh, so many things started coming. Tired, of course, I know that afternoon. That's a funny part, right? So how will you have fun in your class? Some people say that tired, feeling hungry. I'm okay, I'm fine. Whatever it comes to your mind. See, we are not asking your name, your number, your roll number, phone number. Nothing is asked here. It's all open space for everybody. Just feel comfortable. Say 2 or 3 people have said good, so good is in big letters. The more the people they write, around 5 people have answered. You can write as many words you wanted. Very good, interesting. It's fine. So when you ask your students, you will know their mindset. When you go in a 12 to 1 class, 1 o'clock is lunch hour, 12 to 1 you're teaching. They're hungry, and you want to force it. I have prepared today. Why are you making yourself more burden, like trying to teach which they don't understand? You have some fun like this, where you, along with this, you teach them. Prepare yourself in such a way that so that you can make them more understand and work. Say around 7 people have tried it. Okay, fine. Now I'll try to give one more last questions for you, that so that you can also see that instead of only these questions, I can also ask one more things where apart from this, okay, good, fine, happy, welcome, studying, all those things, I will try to give one more where you could see now question changed. This question says you something different. What are you expecting it today? beginning of a class, if you're able to do this, it's an happy things. Now the same people can answer, same screen, same thing, same code. It's also displayed on the screen. It is 761898, where menti.com, same website, same thing, continuation, you'll be able to answer it. It may take some time because of mobile phone, because of the networks here at all. See, numbers started coming. More digital demos are more people say theory concepts 4.5%, maybe, and the notes or PDF is more step-by-step guide. Of course, more step guide is already there in the Wakelet. You can follow it to me and then get it. And what the people expect in that. See, when you know that your students' mindset, you'll understand without telling their name, you are getting that what they feel. Are they requesting more? Are they want demos? Are they want multiple things? Is how you can understand your students' set. So I'm just showing you types of questions at all. Maybe one more. The same people can give me last one. What kind of a learners are you? Are you a alone learner? I don't need anybody. I will learn by myself. Or a group learner? I will with people means I will be able to learn more. Or explorer? Sir, I don't need anybody. With people, without people also fine. I will explore myself in phone or internet or something like that. You'll be able to do. You may belong to something. See, I will not know the names, but I'll know the numbers. In my 70 people's class, there are 2 people who are group learners, 2 people explorer, 1 person is an alone learner, is what I want. So data, when I get it, I can fine tune my class. Accordingly, I can deliver, demonstrate the tools and give it to them is what is important. See, the first question when I asked, there was only 5 people answered. When I come to third question, there are around 10 people who are answering me. That is where you bring them. When you bring out these question, kind of an interactive things in between your classes, the students' engagement starts. Because you already know those are the tools where you demonstrate, you give the notes to them with basic knowledge, preparing them. Sir, is it safe enough? Student knows it is safe because teacher is already enabling it and they're working with this. That is how you are supposed to work with, is what exactly required. And I can get the full entire report of this, how much has been done in the same website. How do we do with this? This is what is done in a place called as, or a website called as, you have to use a mentimeter.com. A website called as mentimeter.com will help you to go log in with your email address and create 3 questions inside that, and you will be able to do this. And more easily present it. I just presented it, and you need another 5 minutes to explore that more. No teaching, no training required for that. If you know how to change your WhatsApp DP, then you can learn Mentimeter. That's how it is easy. Click, 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 and you can get it. And experiment more. In your home, only one more person lives there. No, ask him to go to menti.com, enter the number, answer my question. You'll know how it will answer. Learning is like that. So for many cases, my daughter also helped me to explore more things, and she uses their mobile and I use my mobile. It is that way you have to learn, utilize this, and you can work out with these options. That is the one part which could be used. Now, one more, I will show you a demo. This is, I think you will like more number now. Now see, in the class right now, there are more people, around 144 registered somewhere it was there, around 80 people are here right now. I want to call you. How do you engage them? Every day, see how I use, I will tell you example, you can explore it in more. I want one person to pick from the entire list right now. See, how to create, you wait for 2 minutes, I will show you. But this is how it comes. I have to pick one. Ratish, Dr. Ratish is here by any chance? If he is here, so I'll be able to call them. I'm just giving you, don't worry, I don't call you for a mic, or you can unmute and talk. If it is there, it's okay. Your wish. If you say yes, it is fine. Now I need another person. I just run it again. I will get another random person. I'm not calling somebody. See, this is who is there in the right now in current meeting. That's why I asked the person to get your coordinator to get the entire list of the people. See, Dr. Lakshmi, who is here right now. There are some few people may not be there. I know that, see, they switched on their mic or they switched off their system and they would have gone. Christy, maybe there. I can spend some more time and I can find out that who is listening to me, who is not listening to me. Shalini is here. See, some people said, yeah, Dr. Lakshmi replied, see, it is there at all. Yes, she is there here. I can know that Lakshmi ma'am came here and I can find out. That is where, see, whether they're listening or not, they may tell yes, yes. See, Umaraman is also here. I'm here, see. Santana J. Lakshmi is also here. See, I can find randomly people and ask a question. What I do is, beginning of every class, I think Lakshmi repeated again, so I'll get another. I'll ask, run this like loop again, and then I call that person. And whom I'm calling, I don't know. I'm not targeting anybody. It is random, system generated one, and I'll just call them and I'll try to do this. When they do this one, and everybody in my class has to be alert. I don't know whom I'm calling next. They have to reply to me, then only attendance is given. They have to answer my questions. And in between the class, you should do it, not the full time. And in between classes, whenever you do this, it can be used. Very easy, simple tool to do it. No download, no uploads. I'll show you. 2 clicks, you can generate this. Now, sir, this is one. How best I can use this? I can generate a name. You could see next name, next name, next name. I can generate more individual names, not the loop. I can generate like this. Our lineup, one after the other. Who is that? See, Ramar is here, Uchit Kapoor, and then see, Ratish, Navneet Kaur. So many people are there who are just doing on these parts. I can group of 2. I can make the entire people into 2 groups of people. Here, groups can be generated. I can find these people have to do activity now. I can group of 3, group of 4, group of 5. Our whole team has to be divided into 2 groups. Even in offline class, it is more helpful. If it is an online class, it is more useful. You can do this. That way, see, here somewhere I will show you. One more was here. Everybody's here. So I can make a group of 3, 4, 5, and sitting arrangement also. This way you should sit in my class so that I can, in offline class also it is more useful. Or a regular spinner also can use. Timer I can use. See, Pankajakshi madam is here. So I'll give her a time like something like, see, time starts. So I'll give maybe 20 seconds to answer a question. So tell me, what was the first tool we discussed? So she is supposed to answer me right now. So otherwise I'll know that.
Sir, I'm not very sure, sir. I
okay.
couldn't get it. There are so many tools we're talking about, Google Forms and other things.
Yes.
So I don't know where you...
No, at least you responded. No, that was more thing which was required for me. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. No, see, I gave a time. Within the time she responded. That means she is listening. She is in my class. She is active. She knows that what are all the tools I discussed. That's more than enough. That is where student feels that, oh, this fellow is going to ask me some other time. My name will come, so I should be alert enough. So the day you engage, see, this is funny sometimes. See, for a joke also, at the end of the class, sometimes I did also. During lockdown, it was very difficult for us to keep them engaged. Continuous classes, ice train, everything. I said, you just listen to me, that's enough. And I'll ask you. At the end of the class, when the name came like this, I asked them, tell me, they were scared. Oh, this fellow will ask me one more. I said, just tell me one joke now. They feel happy. Okay, at least I should talk something. See, people should open up. How do you ensure that? See, now your own photos are visible, your names are visible in Zoom. How do I know that whether you're listening, whether you're talking, whether you're watching, whether you're sleeping? I don't know. To ensure that, I should use some of these things to work on. This is a tool called as, another tool which I mentioned here called as Flippity. This is a tool name called as Flippity. What is Flippity? Flippity is creating an instant activities in one click, and you can generate it and you can work. If you explore, or if you give me another 2-3 hours, I'll be able to show you 100 demos like this, which works. I know that, see, I said there are numbers increases. Ultimately, within the given time, I could cover only 6 things. I was able to talk to you. Still, only last 5 minutes with your questions. I can answer your questions and other things, but only there are 6. Like this, I have 100 more tools with me, which can help in every. We are just in a foundation to above 1 or 2 above level, we would have gone, not more than that. See, we are still in that level and it requires more. And that's why I said, we don't know which tool will help you in which part. Sir, I want to conduct a quiz. Can I do that? It's 1 click you can do. See, these are all the tools name which are there. A memory game which can also be created and given to students. And history you would like to explain to someone. There is no tools, I think, which can explain us a better history like this. I will show you. This is a website called as flippity.net. And these are all the tools which will be helpful for us to do it. I'm just showing you in history. Any topic, history you would like to explain. Indian financial system also you have to explain with history. When it was started, when did we made our own NSE, BSE came, how is our economy is going on, all those things it has to be done. This is how it looks like. Explaining a history can be more effective like this. See, you can change all year, name, all is editable. See, when this, I'm talking about somebody, Fred Rogers family, and this is inbuilt slide again. See, explaining his father, sister, mother, all those things. After some time when the graduation completed is here. 1951 graduation, 1952 marriage, 1953 kid, then maybe on the Pittsburgh, whenever Peninsula they went under, this one, the first child, then seminary, also is also orientation when it happened at all, award when did they got. See, year wise it is easy for them. This is one activity, as in we can make interactive, we can make activities, we can make engage them with multiple tools. I just showed you. This is a quiz is available. Amazing. A Flippity flashcards where we can teach them more. This is a random one which I showed you for a name generation. How did I use? You can use this with 3 steps. Any tool you want to learn in this platform, 3 options. Demo, see how it works. Instructions, what to follow, how to use it, ready-made template is available, just use it. So follow it 2-3 times, automatically you'll be able to learn it. What I did is, I just clicked all this, skip the spreadsheet, copy pasted the names here. Your name list I just copy pasted here, clicked on a button called random name generator. See this? It comes like this. Because the number was 150 something, like more number, that's why the wheel was looking different in this case. This one, see, it looks more name, more this it looks like. Otherwise, less name means it looks like this. I can just click here, it randomizes the name and gives me a country name. So my topics can be randomized like this. My subjects can be done like this. My student names can be done like this. My assignments can be done like this. I did all 7 assignments I gave and randomly asked the student to flip it. Whichever assignment comes, it is their choice to get it. Nobody chooses it. See, it's not we decided. It's a system which randomly chooses one of those which are required. See, fine. This is the topic now. You have to talk. So this is where it's easy. No download, no upload. See, no technical knowledge required for you. You don't need to do anything over here at all. Get a list of things. Come to the website flipit.net. Just copy paste. Click one button. Ready. That means technology can be made more easy when you know which one is useful at what stage and who should use this at what level. That is where if you do it, it's really fantastic. That's what my point is. Don't think that technology means only techie fellow can do it and programmers should do it and they have to work on this. No, programming is for everybody, but how best you utilize that makes a good difference in these cases. Still, the time is not so much is available with us at all. Last minute, I'm trying to wind up at this level because there is more. I will try to cover up other tools which are left out, but still along with that one, how can you do an online evaluation and online assessments can be done with this? What are the different tools available? And with, sir, can we do only a quiz program or can we do, that's what the most common questions, like can we do, what kind of an assignment I can expect from a students in an online world, digital world? Those examples definitely I'll be happy to show at this place. And this is where I end up with always, let's start again. Don't think that it's the end of the session and over and we forget everything and go off. No, try to utilize whatever you have listened, whatever you have learned, wherever possibilities are there. Try to grasp all those things, list down those, and then try to get. If you forget where it is, what happened, I'll give you a link where you can recap all these things and get everything back with more tools which are available. You can utilize that and you can work with that. This is where my list again. Somebody asked me in between also chat window, give me contact details. It is there. My name, phone number. Either on Twitter or Instagram or preferably on WhatsApp is also same number, calling at the same number, email is also fine. And you would like to have your PPTs or data, whatever I shared it with, more other tools which are not covered as well is available inside this in the last link called as weeklet.com/vinayam. Just follow me. I keep updating on that more now and it will be useful for you to work on those parts. Hope on a Saturday afternoon on the weekend, last session, which was somewhere useful to you. I did not made you bore on a Saturday afternoon and this was useful information to you at all. Thank you so much. Any questions or any doubts? If you have it, please do happily ask me. I'll be happy to answer that.
Sir, can I ask a question, please?
Please, ma'am.
Sir, actually, we have to do online assessment for our students in the college. Okay. Now, the number is very huge. It's not like a small class for whom I'm taking any quiz or just a simple assignment, but it's say around 550 students. And we have to conduct an internal examination where we can say, suppose we have to ask, give them questions in the form of MCQ, like 20-25 questions, or say suppose 50 questions, whatever management decides, and we want them to answer those questions. So, sir, I was just wondering that is there a system? I was thinking of Google Forms. So, I just want to know your opinion, sir, that is there a system where we can take all their details, including their university registration number, their roll numbers, their names, whether they are from morning or day section, all the details, and then provide them with the questions subject-wise. Suppose it's an e-commerce paper. So I provide them 25 objective questions and whatever they answer, that is automatically assessed and I get the details of all the students with these roll numbers, these marks. Is there a system like that, sir?
Yes, you can do that. There are multiple ways. Just wait for one more day and Monday when we discuss it, the session itself is for online assessment and assignments. I cover all those parts and then you'll get all the details how you can. Yes, 100% definitely your requirements can be solved. I will show you with demo as well that how can you use with that.
Tomorrow, sir, you'll be showing that?
Not tomorrow. I
Day
think
after
it's on
tomorrow.
Monday.
Day after tomorrow, madam.
Day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Sir, can be used with any online platform. Upasana Saxena is asking, can be used with any online platform means? I did not get the question.
Participant, Professor Upasana Saxena, can you make the question a little more clear? Sir, can be used with any online platform. Which tool you are asking about, madam?
What tool, if they specify, I can tell. There are tools or charges. Some tools are available for free for a month. So which tool is better? See, Pankaja Kasturi ma'am, I think, I'm not sure. See, there are whichever tools which I have shown you as of till now is all free. There is no payment for all these things, and which I'm going to show you also will be only free. It is not for a month. It is completely free only. Those tools only I'm showing it. I know that it is not by individual. It is by institute which wants to take. Sometimes investing is not good. Already they have done so much of things during a COVID, and now with more sanitizing, this, that, fees, so many difficulties will be there for that. I'm not showing anything. There are tools which are to be paid at all, but as of right now, don't worry about a paid one. Try to utilize maximum which are available with a free and take a best out of this, and then definitely we'll go for more for the paid one. As of right now, this is okay. The application which sir is talking about for activity can be used on any online platform like a Microsoft Teams and Zoom. Yes, I'm not talking. See, that's why those are all tools which I'm showing you are asynchronous tools, and it can be used in any platform, any place. Your Zoom, your Meet, and your MS Teams are all synchronous tools. It's only for communication. Only come online, show everything, and then discuss and leave. But the tools which I showed you now today are very few, very limited, but it can be used anywhere. Because only 4 or 5, 6 tools or 7 tools we have covered. But because of the time availability, I have planned for around 12, see, double than this, but time does not, even though doing so much fast, not easy to cover. Because digital technology requires some time for you to explore and learn and practice. Tools, what I spoke, is always applicable in all platforms. It works on browser, not on specific tool. If you have a browser, it works perfectly fine. That way you can use it.
Sir, I have one question.
Please, sir.
Sir, I have created many crossword puzzles for commerce students.
Okay.
But I want to make it interactive.
Okay.
Is it any way to do it?
Yes. Have you tried hot potatoes?
No, sir, I haven't tried anything.
You can, I will show you here.
I prepared the tool, but not make it in e-content. I have everything written with me.
No, you are using it on a paper?
Excel sheet I prepared.
Okay, fine. Now there is a tools which I maybe on a Monday I will show you demo of that as well, which I'll cover it. I will show you. It requires some time for maybe 5-10 minutes to understand that, but it is good. You can do that. If you give me words like what you expect as an output from a student, for example, 10 keywords you are expecting in a crossword. That is what they should fill. If you give me that 10 words, give me 2 minutes, I can generate a full crossword interactive one. I will show you that demo on Monday.
Okay. Participants, if you have any questions, you can ask your questions to the resource speaker. Further, if you don't have any questions, we are winding up the session with this. Vinay sir, with your permission, shall I wind up the session, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Somebody is asking, could you share the PPT? Please note that PPT is already here, wakelet.com/vinayam. Whole content is already there. You don't need to worry about copying, sending, email, not come, I'm not received. No, just note it, open it. Automatically you'll get all the details in that.
Okay. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to an end of this week's session with a hair-raising kind of experience through our guest speaker on the topic, how effectively the online platforms can be used. Sir, really, it was very useful for all of us in knowing many different asynchronous tools with which we can make our presentations and we can make our online sessions very interactive. Thank you for sharing all your knowledge with us. At this point in time, I would like to remember a very important quote: knowledge and happiness, when it is shared with others, it gets doubled. And now we are all overfilled with all your knowledge, and we are very happy to take part in your session. Thank you for that, sir. And we are looking forward to have your sessions in the coming days. And Monday, as you have promised, we would like to, we are excited to take part in your discussions on Monday too, sir. Thank you once again. Thank you once again, sir. Thank you. Dear participants, thank you for your patience throughout this week. I know that you're all tired for the last 1 week attending all 6 sessions on all these 6 days. Thank you for your patience and cooperation. Have a nice weekend. We will meet on Monday sharp 9 a.m. Dr. Nandagopal, Director, XIME, is going to deliver a lecture on accreditations and its importance on outcome-based education. Thank you once again. Thank you all.